Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to today's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast. I am your host, Dark Lord 100, here with my co-host, the one and only Mr. Rune Scryer from the Night Shift. What's up? And the Point Man, the man with the master plan, the man known as the Saint. What is up, brother? Host of Now versus Then. We are here to talk, well, all the shit y'all want to hear us talk about. Like we got all kinds of stuff, from hot topics to pop culture to these two men have a couple of hot stories for us for the video game segment, and we also have, of course, the weekly drama that is Raw and SmackDown. With Elimination Chamber right around the corner, this should be a good talk. All right, first segment up, as always, is the one and only. Hot Topics with the Cheap Pop Podcast, where we pick a couple of random topics to talk about that you may or may not have heard. Those of you who don't know, Jay and Silent Bob is doing a Marvel Comics crossover. Not Blunt Man and Chronic. Jay and Silent Bob are doing a Marvel Comics crossover with them, and I for one would know it will most likely be a collector's item, so I'm going to try to get my hands on a copy of it as soon as it hits the shelf before they start charging way too much goddamn money.
Yep.
Gentlemen, your thoughts on Jay and Silent Bob getting a crossover with Marvel Comics?
Hey, like I said, I'm just wondering if we're going to get a little side story with Brody creeping up on Ben Grimm just so that he can learn the truth finally. If everyone remembers Mallrats.
And you saying your thoughts?
Oh, listen. This is probably one of the best things that's happened with the Jay and Bob, Silent Bob universe. That I think that'll probably be the best thing since Dogma being released. Okay, and we all know that that's been one of the biggest things that has evaded us for many years, but now that it's been released, now it's on DVD. Now we will get a nice Marvel crossover, not with Chronic Man,
Blunt Man and Chronic.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yep.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. I'll take the Dogma 2, which is due out really soon too. What's up?
Not to get too far off of that topic, but speaking of instant comic collectibles, for this month, The Black Panther 60th anniversary special.
Okay.
60 years of King T'Challa, all in one special, dating back to Fantastic Four number 56, I think.
That is probably going to cost somebody a lot of money.
But just celebration of T'Challa and all that the character has been throughout the years.
I'm definitely here for it. Anything involving T'Challa, I'm here for. I'm wondering, like I said, I'm still wondering who they're going to get to replace him, or if they're going to replace him, or if they're going to do an Other Worlds type thing where T'Challa from another universe gets stuck here. And that's how we get a new T'Challa. But we'll see.
Well, I will tell you this: one of the main front runners, from my understanding, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he is in the running. The young man that's in the TV show, the FX TV show, Snowfall.
Snowfall. Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Can't think of the name of the actor.
Yeah. And he's in the running.
Okay.
So it's been said. All
right.
We'll see more. We'll have more to talk about later today too, in that vein. So.
And it seems back on subject real quick. It seems like the comic is being written by Kevin Smith himself.
Yep.
Yeah, and will be inked as a reference to Chasing Amy. Giuseppe Camuncoli. Sorry if I butchered his name there.
Yeah.
But so it should.
We're equal opportunity. We're old men.
Yeah. All right, but yeah. But congratulations to Kevin Smith. He's worked in Marvel many times. Working on Marvel with Marvel on one of your own characters that you created. Like,
a cultural touchstone and icon, a pair of them, in fact. And the special is called Jays of Futures Past.
Yes. Here's the thing with it. The character Jay, if you watch Kevin Smith's interviews, he said is based off of the gentleman who plays him.
Oh yeah, Jason Mewes,
Jason Mewes. And again, he said it before. It's not a 1-to-1 exact replica of him being himself, but the essence of the character.
Jason Mewes is also having a little bit of a mini renaissance himself with his acting career. He got clean, got back on track, bringing the energy to a couple of shows out of Canada, I believe.
Yeah. He's always been a great actor, but again, I've always said for some actors, it's easy to act when you really don't veer that far away from yourself.
Exactly.
How you would respond. So yeah. But he is definitely gold. All right, so Dave, you're gonna have to fill us in on a little bit of this, but what you know about this, but Prime Video has announced Ghost in the Shell and Fist of the North Star. Are these going to be combined in anime series or?
No, these are two separate anime series.
Oh, I'm here for it. Those are two of my favorite animes in general.
Yep. And last week we talked about the re-release of Ninja Scroll in 4K.
Yeah. And for those of you who have not seen Ninja Scroll, whether you are a fan of anime or not, go see Ninja Scroll. It's worth it.
Do not. I wasn't made to watch in the room.
Right. Do not have your kids in the room. Yeah, it is a very gory, but it's a good story. Most anime that I've ever dealt with has good storytelling in it.
Yeah.
Unless it's intentionally bad storytelling, written bad storytelling for the sake of comedy, etc. But in general, strong stories come out of it, especially Ghost in the Shell and Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star is a very underrated anime.
It
Like
is.
I understand in the anime world, like people know of Fist of the North Star, but I definitely don't think it gets its
Right.
props.
It's
It doesn't get, listen, writing Bean
yeah.
doesn't get, is underrated. Gogo
Yeah,
13, the professional, is definitely underrated. Crying
yeah.
Freeman is definitely underrated.
Yep.
City Hunter is definitely
Mhm.
underrated. Okay.
Yeah.
You have all of these different, animes, Gotcha Man. Then,
Oh,
you have Cobra. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
just, and these are things that are actually been coming back into into the forefront with gaming. So it's
Yeah.
like, I am all there for it, with all of that, especially the top of the heap. The love letter to all is the one and only Akira.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. Going ahead. I will say this before I let you go, Namaskar, is I have been mightily disappointed with the live actions that they've tried to do from a couple like Battle Angel Alita, Ghost in the Shell. With no offense to her, she tried her best in the role, but
Yeah.
was that Scarlett Johansson that was in that one? But Ghost in the Shell, like these were horrible. It's not every anime needs to be remade into a live action movie. Not
Right.
every anime. Some animes are good just staying as animes.
And it's kind of like comic book or video game
Mhm.
adaptations.
Right.
Yes, it's hot, but do we really need to cash in on this way?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, the only
I,
one
I'll,
that's good to me was The Last of Us, and that
well,
was the
Twisted
only
Metal
one
has
that
been
was
good.
point.
Fallout's
No,
been good.
but I'm no,
Now,
no, yeah, but no, but The Last of Us
Oh,
was
no, I'm not saying it's better than
directly.
Last of Us. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
like
no, no.
Twisted
What
Metal
I'm
has been
saying, it
good.
was adapted. No, I mean, it was adapted to the T.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
Right.
if you played both games,
Yeah.
there were like other inside, other parts. Like, I didn't know that Joel had got ripped off right before he met up
Ellie.
with like,
Yeah.
she was a dirty bitch too. But
Well, okay. What I mean by
yeah,
this is this. What I mean by this is that with video games, like we've gotten quite a few decent remakes, but I think Dave's right when they says like they need to kind of temper what video games they do
And they're
because
also getting better in quality.
right. Right, they
Okay.
very much
Halo,
are. And
Halo.
Halo, exactly. Halo was very well done, but Halo was something that lent itself via
Right.
lore and storyline to becoming a live action. That's what I mean. You have to be kind of like, don't get me wrong, as cute as it would be, a Crash Bandicoot movie would make no sense.
Right.
Like
A
it
live
just would,
action credit. Yeah.
yeah, like in
Sonic,
live
I'm
action.
surprised that they pulled off as well as they did.
Exactly. But that's my
Ooh,
point
I'm
too. It's not
sorry.
everyone.
I'm
Final
sorry.
Fantasy
He
would never.
said
What's up?
Crash Bandicoot. I just, I'm sorry, bro. Like
Tell
that.
me, bro, what would you think genuinely? What would be the first thought to come to your head if somebody
Like,
told you tomorrow that they were going to create a Crash Bandicoot live action movie?
like that first attempt at Sonic, and it was all bad. That's why they made it in the movie, that ugly Sonic, when it was in what you call it,
The Rescue
Yeah.
the
Rangers movie.
Chippendale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm talking about. Just like some, like I said, Final Fantasy. I think they would do a horrible job trying to make that into a live action. But those CGI movies that came out
Well,
were pretty dope.
the
But I
Final
don't.
Fantasy CGI movie, yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
And which
yeah.
one though?
I'm
I
only
didn't
aware
mind
of
both of
Spirits
them.
Within,
The only
Spirits
problem I have
Within.
with them
which
is
was
Spirits
the
Within.
first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
The only problem I have with it is it genuinely looked like a bunch of Final Fantasy CGI cutscenes just strung together
Yeah.
for an hour and a half. Like you were just like the way the scenes faded out and came back, like it just looked like you were just watching a bunch of cutscenes. Like
Yeah.
that was my only thing with it. But as far as how it looked visually, it was beautiful. They did a
Yep.
great job with it.
Beautiful stuff.
So,
And so,
all right. With that being said, good luck to Prime. They're sticking their hands in a lot of pots and creating a lot of shows, and they've done so good with Fallout.
I do agree with
and
that.
all of that. And Invincible. I think that they'll do a great job with this. All right, so that takes us out of the hot topics area and right into. Yes, pop culture corner. All right, y'all. So first up in pop culture corner,
it's the corner. It's the corner. No, Mr.
Europe with the Netflix takes global rights to Ticket to Ride board game.
Yes,
as feature was first project in development. So what is this?
Okay, so Ticket to Ride is a board game. More importantly, it's part of the surprisingly large rail baron genre of board games, where you're basically building your railroad, either by buying up railroads. It's railroad monopoly. With some of the games, you're actually able to draw on the board how you're building your railway.
Okay.
This is one of the major genres of modern board games. And
so let's explore what are possible plots in this movie.
The best we can hope for.
I mean, what was the possible plot of Doom?
Right, but the best we can.
But Doom actually had a story to it. Like a Ticket to Ride is you just building a railroad. Like, I don't think that's gonna make a good movie for 3 hours.
Right. But what I'm saying is the best we can hope for is that this is going to be Netflix version of Hell on Wheels.
Okay. I'm thinking something along the lines of that movie. Brad Pitt was in
okay. Movie. I can see that. Okay, now I can see it.
Right. I'm not saying that there's not potential. I'm just saying that there is potential when you expand everything that can happen.
Right.
Well,
it's not that. It's just funny to me that it was okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna take you back here on this one. It draws the same memories as the first time I heard that they were going to do a movie about Battleship.
Yes, thank you.
I was like,
"You're not wrong."
Like, okay, but I will admit openly, I was pleased with the final result. That movie, I ended up liking the movie. It's not going to win an Oscar. It's not even going to win a Razzie. So it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best, but it was a decent movie. And they incorporated enough
of all the board game movies that have been made. That was certainly one of them. That's the saying goes.
You call them
that's a given. I mean, listen.
I'm not saying it's better than Clue. It's definitely not better than Clue.
Nothing's better than Clue. Come on.
Nothing's better than Clue.
Listen. Liam Neeson was a little over the top, and then Rihanna was always, Rihanna is always hot. So that's, I'm sorry, like she's a good actress, and she's a decent actress. I'm not going to front.
I will be honest with you. They engulfed me enough in the little bit of storyline that they had that when they rolled out the big destroyer ship with all the old dudes running it, with all the dudes that had fought in World War II, running it, I was cheering. I was like, yeah. Go get them, old dudes. Go get the aliens. They're gonna save us from the world. It was fun. It was fun in the theater.
So that's it all depends on the presentation and the take.
Excuse me just a minute. Excuse me a moment, fellas. I'll be right back.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. But yeah, I agree with you. There's what they do with it.
There are dozens of board games built upon creating your rail baron empire, including, linking up cities, because each city produces certain things so that you can, take it from one city, and if you have all the rail connections, taking it to a place where the demand is higher to sell at a better price. It's
Well, don't get me wrong. I get what you're saying.
right.
Hey, what's up, Wood? Thanks for joining us, bro.
But
We're just talking about board games being made into movies.
There's a fantasy rail game.
Yeah.
There are outer space rail games.
Like that. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that
rails
there's
on
not.
the moon.
I'm not saying that there's not
Right.
potential. I'm initially, just like with Battleship, I'm initially trying to imagine the dialogue, because I'm wondering how, like, is this going to be like Clue, where you're inside the game and the characters that you're watching are the people that are being directed by the players of the game to build the railroad and do this, that, or this?
Yep.
Or are you the players playing the game? And
Jumanji.
So I'm like, there's plenty of ways that they can go with it, but I'm wondering like which angle they're going to take on it, because I think it's going to matter to the overall success.
It all depends on
of the movie.
It all depends on what Netflix decides to do with it.
Yep. So all right. So moving on to the next subject in Pop Culture Corner. It was the one Dave actually brought up earlier when we were discussing Ghost in the Shell and Fist of the North Star. And that is that legendary director Yoshiki Kawajiri. Yoshiki Kawajiri.
Yeah, sorry.
The classic anime film Ninja Scroll is officially getting a 4K remake, which I'm excited for. Like I said, the movie has a very interesting plot. It's one of those movies that stuck with me, kind of like one of my first experiences in dealing with anime. It was not Dragon Ball Z like some of the younger cats. It was actually Vampire Hunter D was one of my first experiences into anime. And that movie is like, I wouldn't say but it's kind of like twisted in a lot of ways.
It really is. I was actually thinking of, Vampire Hunter D would be fantastic in 4K. And also, it's part of a longer running manga series. So getting an extension on that would be fantastic too.
Yeah.
Weren't there more than just the original Vampire Hunter D movie?
I believe so. I need to. It's not one of the animes that I am passionate about. So I kind of, I'm aware of it. It's fine. I like it. It's just not enough to.
No, Vampire Hunter.
Not enough to. That was
the business right there.
That was the business. Dude, nothing compared to waking up and putting on Battle of the Planets. I'm telling you. Back in the 70s.
That's a given.
Yep. But
it's one of those things where you hear about it and you can't wait to see it.
Right.
Because even though it's the same movie you've watched a billion times over, it's still gonna look.
It looks beautiful.
It was like when HD TVs kind of became a thing, and they were upgrading everything to HD. Like I couldn't wait to see shit like Robotech in HD. Like shit was like, wow. Heck yeah.
And actually, since we're on the anime topic, I just discovered the coolest anime of this year, which is called Sentence to Be a Hero.
Okay.
It's a fantasy world. It's an extremely grimdark fantasy world where heroes are people who have committed unspeakable crimes. And their sentence is to basically be frontline fighters in this war against these corrupting demon plagues.
Yeah.
And when they die, they get resurrected continually.
Resurrected how?
by the church that sentences them.
Wow.
Okay,
So-
Wow. You have a life of
borderline.
servitude of dying.
And
Yeah.
you lose a bit of your memory and personality every time you get brought back. So it's
So
like
eventually you're a
Suicide
zombie.
Squad, with none of them expect to survive, and they lose
Wow.
pieces of themselves whenever they get brought back
That's
forever.
insane.
That's
That's
kind
insane.
of
It's
yeah.
it's seriously dark, and
Well, I'll say,
Can I get a choice?
I'll say,
Can I-
Wood says that well, I'll say,
go
I'll
for
say,
it.
go on, Dave.
No, I'm all, but that's on Crunchyroll. I just discovered it. It's just fantastic. Check it out. Very grimdark, very Lovecraft-esque. The
Yeah.
creatures that they're fighting are literally like demonic cancers.
That's insane. I'll
Think
say,
of that in terms of anime, of what that's going to look like.
Yeah. Well, I'll say,
That's crazy.
Wood
Work.
said an anime called Perfect Blue. was
Perfect
very
Blue. Yep.
I have yet to see that one, so I'll have to
Perfect
put
Blue is another kind of intense
Is
one. Alien
I
invasion.
remember a live action movie that was shown to me by my sister, regrettably. my friend's sister, not my blood sister,
Yeah.
called Iron Man. And it was a Japanese movie, it was in black and white. And it was,
Tetsuo
it
the
was
Iron
disturbing.
Man.
I would not recommend it to anybody.
Nope.
If you go looking for Iron Man, don't anything
Even if you are a fan of horror films, I would not recommend Audition.
Yeah. You can't take this back. So just don't watch it.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. So Dave, next story up is from you, sir. Doctor Who TV movie is getting the remaster it deserves.
Yes. And this is the Paul McGann Doctor Who TV movie
Okay.
from way back in the 90s, in the interregnum, in between the end of Sylvester McCoy's run as the Doctor and the restart with Christopher Eccleston, the one that was set in San Francisco.
Yeah.
With Mr. Eric Roberts chewing up the scenery as the master.
Now I will say this. There were a couple of takeaways from that because number one, I actually saw that shit was on Fox.
I watched that too.
And big Doctor Who fan. The part where he said he was like almost like half human, I was like,
yeah. The problem was it was an Americanized Doctor Who.
Yeah, which
doesn't work when you're still focusing on the Britishness of the Doctor and other things around him.
Yeah. But however, no, it was still, listen, I will say this, at least, we know the what we call the McGann years.
Yeah.
Are mostly
well,
no, but I'm just talking about because you got to remember too.
Yeah.
He's considered, considered at that point because of the Big Finish audios and a few of those
the Big Finish audios. He's popped up in the main series a couple times in flashbacks. So
but his fitting in though his
I'm
closing.
Glad it's taken some time, taking a while, but Paul McGann's Doctor, the 8th Doctor, is getting flowers and due recognition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. And also, just to respond back to what he says, Perfect Blue was a more grounded psycho thriller.
Yeah.
And I, again, wouldn't know, haven't seen it, but
I could
I'll
be,
go off your words.
I could be misremembering the titles.
Gotcha. All right. So next up, we talk a little bit more about what were the conditions under which Mike Coulter decided to take back the mantle of Luke Cage in the MCU. He said
That's
Marvel
right.
agreed to these conditions. Basically, the first condition was that he wanted Luke Cage to be in full control of Harlem, like basically to be running Harlem completely. And then the second one was basically like he wanted basically to quote the article from who was it? From Jordan Burgaris on Freedom Fire. It says that
Phantom
in an
Fire.
interview he said you need to commit crimes to actually fight crime, and there's a dynamic there with Luke Cage that he wants to explore
Yeah.
with Luke, finding how hard it is to defend Harlem and still stay on the right side
Right.
of the board.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, your thoughts on those conditions?
You go first, Saint.
Well, it's kind of like watching the TV show Godfather of Harlem. For the stuff that he does, he still has to, fight on the other side of the tracks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't mind exploring that because he would really be crossing some streets that he may not want to deal with, and it's going to be a hell of a challenge. So yeah, I welcome it.
Okay.
I definitely welcome it.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
I'm down for whatever brings Mike back to the role. He was superb. I also think that we need to get Akilah Cooper back on as showrunner for anything involving Luke Cage. I mean, just speaking for myself
on Netflix.
Yeah, speaking for myself, that was a crash course in Harlem culture.
Okay.
In there, and
Luke Cage.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I didn't even know who Dapper Dan was. I thought he was just a character they made up for the TV series, just to have like a guy doing the costuming in there, and then did a little research, and holy shit, he's real.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And he has dressed the legends of hip hop from the Big Apple.
Very true. Very true.
And that, the music, the scenery, everything is fantastic. The only thing that I would like to see, and I'm going to agree with a semi-famous gentleman that I interact with on Facebook, who is concerned with Black representation. Let's see Luke have an actual relationship rather than just like the casual sex with Jessica that got tainted by her involvement with Reva's death. You don't really have a long term in the MCU.
Right.
You don't really have a long term relationship option for Luke Cage. You don't really have a partner for him. Like, you say Cyclops, you think Jean Grey. You say Spider-Man, you think Mary Jane, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have these great couples, but there are so few Black couples or Black men being presented as romantic objects in the comics.
Rhodey has a wife, don't he? So Rhodey got a wife, don't he? He talks about her.
Oh, he's getting a new one. Rhodey, I think.
Samuel L. Jackson dated an alien. Married an alien. He was.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we don't know if that was somebody shaped as Samuel L. Jackson's character as Nick Fury,
Yeah.
or if that was actually Nick
It's
Fury. But all
or
right,
that like, but
so
we're talking long term because even in
and
the
I
comics,
hope they definitely present him in a way that is in the positive light that the Luke Cage character represents.
exactly,
That will definitely be something
because
that I'll be on the lookout for.
I mean, let's face it, with comics, who is a black power couple in comics?
Storm and Black Panther.
That's it. Now, who else?
I don't know. I don't read comics.
I can. I mean,
anymore.
I can name like a dozen impactful white couples in comics.
Well, that depends.
Black couple, huh?
Well, that depends on. I mean, that's a lot because you do have to remember that that even in the animated series, Vixen and John Stewart had a relationship.
Oh yeah. Yeah. John Stewart was pulling down both Vixen and Shayera. So, but
nice.
It's one of those things where, I try to listen to the people that I interact with, whose life experiences, whose points of view are different than mine are. And yeah, I can see it. I can understand it. And so, why not? Let's get Luke. Let's get Luke hooked up with. I mean, make him decide. Doing the whole storyline with Jessica and having Danny enter the picture would be fantastic. I think.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
we got a long way to go before we got to get through Daredevil season 2 first.
Oh yeah. Which is actually
a better storm than Halle Berry. Angela Bassett.
What?
Wood asked the question of who would have made a better storm than Halle Berry, and I'm like,
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett, like the same person people were screaming for when they did the movie.
Right.
Like, no offense to Halle Berry. No. First and foremost, woman, please in your life don't ever do another Jamaican accent. Anybody, anywhere, even for your husband in the bedroom.
I would have.
Just stop.
I would have. To be honest, I would have rather had Iman.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think Iman.
If you're gonna go,
she's as good of an actress.
Yeah,
I mean, but hear me out. Listen, there are sometimes you do have a few folks. I mean, I'm not saying that Iman is not a great actress. I mean, she did, the only acting I've ever really seen her do was in the Michael Jackson video, Remember the Time. However, no, bullshit. I'm running that back. No, she was in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, as an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me go on ahead and re-roll that back. So yeah, I think that Iman should have been the Storm, if anything.
Oh yeah,
because number one, she's of the continent.
Again, yeah.
What about Grace Jones though?
Again, also, it depends on when the X-Men movie.
No. Listen.
I love Grace Jones.
I love me some Grace Jones, but
Grace Jones was supposed to be Dazzler. In the original pitch for Dazzler, when they created her,
exactly, acting is questionable.
They were going to basically model her off of Grace Jones, who was doing the disco to glam rock conversion at the time.
Wood kind of agrees with me in the sense that he said Iman had the look, but the acting is questionable.
Yeah, and also, I don't care. I can't.
I mean, we had Halle Berry.
Yeah, but I can't.
and her acting in that role was questionable. So
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but as Storm, that shit was all the way suspect. Okay.
Well, okay.
Which is why
Come
I'm
on,
gonna
come
say
on,
this.
come on.
that's why I'm agreeing. I'm on team Angela Bassett because
Okay.
she just drips regal authority
Yes. Well,
in
and okay.
every role she does.
I think also a lot of people would go with Angela Bassett now because of watching her in Black Panther, and then how her
I would
presence
have done it just after
took over every
What's Love
scene.
Got to Do with It.
Right? No, don't get me wrong. She was a valid actress back then. But I don't. I think people
then,
see her more
For
as
me,
viable for a
wait.
comic.
I hate to say it. Oh, Dave, you said what's love got to do with it? No, for me, the whole thing was Strange Days.
Oh yeah, that was another fantastic.
And that was completely, and as far as I'm concerned, that was pretty much typecast. She was typecast.
Okay,
she did the
I'm
episode of The Flash.
Yeah, I'm going to point this out to y'all. Okay, and this is no offense to Miss Halle Berry because she's a fine actress. She has herself an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She is a fine actress. Okay.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, when he played Batman, I believe it was in Batman Forever. Or was that Clooney? Okay, Val Kilmer. I've always said this. Val Kilmer did not act badly as Bruce Wayne or Batman. Val Kilmer was just handed one of the most shittily written scripts in human history. Okay.
No, he was a good Bruce Wayne, but he sucked as Batman, just like Michael Keaton.
Hold on. Yeah, and
because George Clooney did fucked up.
But
there is only one true Batman. That's Kevin Conroy.
I can blame a lot of why he was horrible in that role on the script itself.
The script,
I unfortunately cannot say
the set designs.
I can say with Halle Berry that it was a horrible script that she got acted, and she chose to match the horribleness with her acting, and that's why that role didn't work.
And Catwoman should not exist then.
Yeah.
Then Catwoman should not exist.
And
Catwoman was actually okay because she looked good in the suit.
That's
the only listen. The only thing
she owned it. To her credit, she owned up to it. She took that. She accepted that Razzie. You know.
Listen. I'm sorry. Listen.
I like Michelle Pfeiffer better.
Catwoman. She was like, that's the only thing that takes away from it. Okay.
Yeah.
She looked good in the suit. Okay. Even the game was horrible. Okay. Even the game was horrible.
Oh man. Now, fellas, we all know recently that Marvel has kind of like not necessarily gone off the map, but they've definitely made some twists and turns. So, rumor has it that we may see a return as soon as Brand New Day of Thanos to the MCU. And so, how would y'all feel about Josh Brolin making his way back as Thanos? I'll be right back.
I'm not. No. There is no fucking way. I'm sorry. Listen, you fucked up. You fucked up with the Krang situation. Okay, let's just leave it at that. There is no fucking way you can bring Thanos back. Yeah. That's you might as well just go on. Listen, you might as well just go on ahead and reopen up the old MCU. You just bring back Chris Evans for about maybe two more movies.
Yeah.
With and better yet, how about Edward Norton? Yeah, let's go get Edward Norton. Yeah, and bring back Bruce. And bring back His
And
Bruce.
by the
his
way,
Bruce
we are
Banner.
actually going to be getting our first
variant.
look at the Hulk in
The Hulk.
Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Yeah, but which is it? Is which variant?
I don't know. It's I believe it's Mark
Because they've
Ruffalo.
been. I thought Mark Ruffalo. I thought he got fired or something.
No,
Oh.
no, he's all good. But
All right.
my problem is that yes, Thanos is
That's not a good look.
It's a great. He's a great villain. I agree. It is not a good look to keep going back to the well that you know is going to produce oil, because you're just going to drain all that oil out at one point, and you got nowhere left to go. Okay.
Here's the thing about it.
Setting aside Kang and that situation, there are so many other master level villains that could be brought into the MCU.
I mean, you got the Game Master. Like
You got the Game Master.
Hold on.
We've got Adam Warlock. So how about bringing in the Magus?
Okay. Here's the thing with it. And I think you guys are missing something that they may be doing. It is kind of going back to the well, but not really. Remember, the events of Infinity War and Endgame did not necessarily end the Infinity Crisis. Infinity Gauntlet is what the first 10 years of Marvel was based off
of. The MCU.
Basically of the MCU, right? Of the MCU are based off. It's the Infinity Gauntlet. And remember, what came after Infinity Gauntlet was the Infinity Quest.
Well, there was Infinity Quest first, then the Infinity Gauntlet, then the Infinity Watch, Adam Warlock in the Infinity Watch.
Right.
Yeah. So there's so many cosmic.
But during, hold on, there's one part of it that I think is being forgotten, is that in the Infinity Crisis series, it's Kang and Thanos who are working together to stop the Infinity thing, like and trying to find a thing. So it could be a way to bring Kang back into everything.
Yeah,
using Thanos as kind of a portal, so to speak.
What I was thinking of, I want to see Avengers Forever, which was a story arc written by Kurt Busiek, drawn by Carlos Pacheco, I think, where it was the accumulation of the Kang Immortus War. And every Avenger from every single reality, even if they'd only had a single panel up to that point, is brought in from across time, across realities, everywhere.
Okay. That would be definitely interesting to see.
Okay. So, and with the digital creation that Disney has available to them, okay, imagine, Sam Wilson, he's getting the Avengers up. He's leading them against Kang's troops in there and everything. They're getting beat down. And then all of a sudden, you hear on your left. And then you get Chris Evans back walking out as Captain America with the shield and looking at Sam and saying, "Suit looks good on you, man." And you get that moment that we want. And then more Captain Americas step out. The alternate Captain Americas, the ones that were considered in the casting before Chris Evans got the job, like Alexander Skarsgård. You get more Captain Americas coming out from variant universes. You get variant universes of Iron Man. You get Robert Downey Jr. back in the suit, flying with Rhodey. You get Tom Cruise getting a little bit of time in the suit. And
yeah, because they did talk about Tom Cruise at one point.
Yeah.
And so just imagine all these variants of the characters that we love pushing in to end this conflict that has been going on for eons.
That's another way we could definitely go. Like
It's what and there's no way. I mean, they could have done it easily.
Yeah.
They could have easily have done it. But
well,
plus, damn it, I wanted to see Crusader, who's one of the Battle World Avengers. From what if the heroes never left Battle World in Secret Wars?
Yeah.
And they build their lives on it, on Battle World. And Captain America hooks up with Rogue, who's been taken over permanently by Carol Danvers. And they have a daughter who's got her dad's shield, his training, his leadership abilities. She's got her mom's super strength and flight. And she's worthy of Mjolnir. Yeah.
Just by being related, the bloodline there. All right. Well, just to put a final note on the Thanos talk, that was hinted at because in a recent interview, Josh Brolin was asked about returning to play Thanos, and he thinks that there's still some meat left on that bone. And then when asked if Marvel, he said he would be willing to do it if Marvel was in touch with him, but they hadn't been, or he would be willing to do it if Marvel got in touch with him. And when asked directly if Marvel had gotten in touch with him, he declined to answer by coughing through it. I declined to answer. So odds are good we're probably going to see Thanos on screen again. Just can't wait to see what they decide to do.
It all depends on how they do it, what the pitch is, what the idea is.
Now, this one is one that I found that I figured Dave would probably know a little bit about. But right before we jump to the next subject, we're going to answer Wood's question here of do we think DC should do Crisis on Infinite Earths? If they hadn't already done it about as good as I think they could do it on TV, I would say yeah. But if you want to watch Crisis on Infinite Earths in live action, just go watch the TV shows.
Yeah, the Arrowverse is perfectly fine. And
just
we did a fine job with
it. We got to see Kevin Conroy as live action Batman.
Read the book. Listen, Crisis. I'm sorry, but even the TV shows, there is nothing better than to read Crisis, the original 12-issue miniseries from 1985.
Marv Wolfman, George Perez.
Yeah, that is the opus, what the magnum opus of crossovers.
Yep.
Well, no, I agree with you 100%. What I'm saying is that can be said of any comic book IP that's been put out there. Go read the original book because it's better. Crisis on Infinite, or not Crisis on Infinite, but the Infinity Gauntlet series. I love what Marvel did with it on the big screen, but the books are still better.
Yeah.
The books are still way better. So
the Infinity Gems
the
Infinity Gems and not the stones.
Right. And so I would say that the Crisis that was done by the CW was basically what I mean by it is as far as live action comic book stuff goes, it's about as good as we're going to see it done on the live action.
Now, what I think
so trying to recreate that on the movie on the big screen to me would just be silly.
What DC should do is finally do a live action Kingdom Come.
If they did a live action Kingdom Come, man, bro, I would rather for it to be like a CGI or something like animated, because there's no way, because it's like if they were to do a live action Kingdom Come, if they fuck that up, I'm telling you, DC
would never recover.
They would never. No, bro. Like
we're talking about James Gunn.
Yeah, we're talking. It doesn't matter.
James Gunn to do it justice.
It doesn't matter.
You don't think so? All right.
That's
I could
that's
see
like,
James Gunn calling up the Russo brothers and having them do Kingdom Come for DC.
dude, that would be a whole bunch. That would be a whole bunch
I
of
say
characters.
let's build a universe before we start looking for big universe
Sure.
sweeping things.
Which is what
Yeah.
Kevin Feige did with the MCU.
Mm-hmm. So
Yep.
let's build a universe. All right. Speaking of that, article reads: long-awaited BioShock movie gets a promising update from the producer. It says Roy Lee has hinted that the work soon begin on a long-awaited BioShock movie, which was first announced by Netflix in 2022. Yeah, it says it looks like it's starting back up again. However, this week we got what sounds like a promising update from producer Roy Lee while speaking with Collider. For the movie, he was asked about the BioShock movie. According to Lee, Francis Lawrence is still attached to direct the film. He's currently working on Sunrise of the Weeping, a prequel to the Hunger Games. It's set to release on my birthday, November 20th. But once that's finished, it sounds like he'll shift his focus to BioShock. So looks like we're going to get a BioShock live action movie. Gentlemen, are either of you excited for this movie? Go ahead and kick us off, Dave.
Yeah. I got into BioShock late. I like the idea of it. I like the messages of it. Again, it's just all going to depend on the presentation, the hook, and how much of the satirical criticism of capitalism they're going to be able to get away with.
Fair enough. Saint, your thoughts?
Well, considering I'm a fan of the games, big time, they just better not fuck it up. That's all.
That's all you gotta say.
That's kind of like I'm on the same level. I'm on the same level of seriousness, just like when it came to Fallout. Like
Fallout, action go by.
No, seriously, like because there are certain, like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example real quick. Alone in the Dark. That's a franchise that Yui Bowl fucked that off.
Yep.
And you kind of see it, even though that is the very first survival horror series, even before Resident Evil. Okay. That is the first. So you kind of don't care about if there's a movie for Alone in the Dark. But this right here, this particular series, you fuck that off, I'm telling you, they will listen. These gamers are learning, are paying attention to these movies, and they're like, hey, we need to get up in your ear because this shit don't look right. Because I guarantee you, somebody paid the good money to make sure that Fallout didn't get fucked up.
Burn.
The same thing that The Last of Us didn't get fucked up. Okay.
Right.
There are certain movies and certain video game franchises that say, hey,
fair enough.
That's my take.
Yep.
All right. So
but Dark Lord, we need to get a clip of Saint just saying they better not fuck it up. That's his response to any proposed adaptations.
Fair enough. All right. So last but not least, we'll talk about the show that both of you gentlemen have seemed to enjoyed, and evidently millions of Americans as well. But Star Trek Starfleet Academy misses Nielsen's top 10 for second straight week. There's some concern that it may not get future seasons because it's not performing too well in these Nielsen ratings, but I don't know what the streaming numbers look like. But what are your thoughts, gentlemen, on this effect? Is it just that people don't watch TV the same way,
Well, because
or
well, no,
That's it precisely.
I'm gonna honestly tell you. Listen,
yeah,
there are certain things where Star Trek fans there are Star Trek fans, and then you have your Trekkies. Okay, and there's a difference. And I'm sorry, nothing against the community, but a gay Klingon that it kind of hits you. It kind of hits you in the. It kind of hits you in the face. And then a gay King Klingon that's black. That's a lesson. There's a lot of questions that goes
there's a
into
lot
that
to unpack
character.
there, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack, and people are, on the outside, people are saying, "Hey, wait a minute, hold on a second." And then you have the people that are, everything for the inclusion, everything is great, everything is fine. I don't have a problem with, because that story about Benjamin Sisko, to me, that was probably one of the greatest mysteries to be solved in a sense with Star Trek. But then there are some other misses. But it's a school. People are probably expecting to do some Janeway shit, or some Captain Kirk, like, I'm kicking Finnegan's ass again, for the just for just for the fun.
For sure,
But
for sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Now, a counterpoint to that. I understand what you're saying. Okay. But specifically the gay Klingon bit. We know in Deep Space Nine, when we see Jadzia reuniting with the original three Klingon commanders, Koloth, Kor, and Koth, for that whatever, for that revenge bit. Okay. And you've got Jadzia showing up, Terry Farrell in there, and Koloth, I think, says, Curzon, my old friend. And she says, I'm Jadzia now. Jadzia, my old friend.
Yeah.
And Klingons are able to accept the concept of the symbiote switching bodies.
Pretty much, yeah. He's saying they're trying too hard. I'm listening to you, Dave, but Wood commented that he thinks Saint's saying they're trying too hard.
Right. But and even then, getting back to the original series, there was a significant part of America who saw the kiss between Kirk and Uhura and had that exact same reaction. They're trying too hard.
For sure.
So Star Trek has always been progressive, whether people want to accept it or not. Commandant Akia, Holly Hunter's character, everyone coming down on her for lounging around on the chair. Oh, it's disrespectful. It's not command-like, etc., etc. As someone pointed out, and I agree with this completely 100%, because I suffer from the same thing. Sitting in odd positions in chairs to get the most comfortable position is a symptom of autism / neurodivergence.
I can believe that.
It's not talked about very much, but it is that. And so now it low-key becomes, this is how the Federation is inclusive. Okay. Just like Geordi's blindness.
Yeah.
They accept people as they are. without the necessity to correct them to standard.
Fair enough. All right, so that's going to close us out for this part of the show. That's our last subject for Pop Culture Corner. Coming up after the break, as always, is a little wrestling talk with SmackDown Alley. We'll get to a little Raw and SmackDown, which were both pretty good this week. And then we'll get into the hottest topics in the video game world for this week, for this year, potentially. And we'll get to that right after this commercial break. You are watching a promo break. You are watching the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on First GenXers Twitch or the WKK Double Network YouTube or the First GenXers YouTube, wherever you're watching. Stay up, stay in, and we got more for you on the other side of the break. Peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beats. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the First GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the Switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone. I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the First GenXers. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the First GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
Got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit.
Adam's family like dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. Like, very true.
Yeah.
Well, I always temper this because I think
I did not like the receiving caution tagline.
I've also seen what Chase Center looks like when the Valkyries are fucking playing, so fuck all of you. Because Chase Center is packed no matter what's going on.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah. Come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
There we go. And we are back. So, yes, for those of you who stuck around, thank you very much. We are back with the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on First GenXers Broadcast Network on Twitch and on YouTube. So let's get it on, gentlemen, and let's jump directly into all right.
Long pause, sir.
It's a long pause, sir. Long pause. And so first up,
Dead air.
No dead air. The air can never die. It's constantly moving. Well, it's like
You got issues.
Let's bring Neil Patrick Harris onto the show. I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson onto the show. And all right. So first up is First up is Monday Night Raw, in which we saw some interesting storylines built up as AJ Lee confronted. We'll start with AJ Lee confronting Becky and literally like screaming at her to slap her. And Becky just kind of standing there like a frozen puppy. So you have some thoughts on this, Dave? What's up?
I am now calling Becky the Banshee, because that's all she does now is scream.
Yeah, she's got issues, man.
Because she's the greatest of all time, and everybody's saying it, not just her. The Bleacher Report is saying it.
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee, yeah.
That was
I think
so fantastic from Maxine.
I think that is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah.
Come Elimination Chamber this upcoming Saturday. Hello to Miss Sasha Lee 69 and Kirsch 1121, who both jumped into the comment section. And yes, Wood, we agree with you, bro. It's about being subtle when dealing with introducing new characters and things like that. All right. So yes, Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, Becky the Screamer.
Good afternoon.
But they are both they're both going to give us a match that we can both be proud of. Here's the issue I have with Finn Balor versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
I don't normally complain about predictability. I believe that the match is going to be possibly a match of the year candidate. Both of the guys are good wrestlers, and we should see a hell of a match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but we all know that Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is the main event that they want at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Which means that for anybody in the know of that type of thing, we all know Finn Balor is not going to win.
No.
But
so
I'm sorry.
There's a 0.0000000000005% chance.
Okay. And yet
they win.
And yet the young upstart is now in the Elimination Chamber.
Yep. Javon Evans.
Yes, yes.
So let's keep it a buck. I'm not saying
the winner of the Elimination Chamber isn't facing CM Punk, though.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
The winner of Elimination Chamber isn't facing Punk. They're facing McIntyre.
Yeah,
I'm saying Punk's not going to lose at Elimination Chamber.
That sucks all the way around, but you just never know. Because things,
like I said, do I think Javon Evans has a chance of winning at Elimination Chamber? I think he has a 0.000000005 chance.
He's just in it. He's just in it to win.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. Okay,
I'm calling it right now. Javon Evans is going to need serious arthroscopic surgery before he turns 30.
He probably has already had to have it. But the kid's a monster, and I think it's kind of like for like a 4-year period of time. When Kofi Kingston entered the Rumble, you knew Kofi Kingston was not going to win the Royal Rumble, but you knew he was going to give you 2 or 3 great moments, great moments within the Rumble that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And so I think the same.
He's going to have a good WrestleMania moment.
And so I think that Javon Evans is kind of that Kofi Kingston like guy, where he's going to give you great moments during these big matches, but right now. Kid's like 21. You're not sending him to WrestleMania in the main event to face Drew McIntyre. I love the thought of it, but he's just in the chamber to add some excitement to it because he's going to do shit that the older guys can't do and other guys won't do.
Yeah.
He's going to jump off of shit. He's going to land on people. He's going to make it look great.
Tomorrow night
is an OG cutter with him jumping from the top of one of the cages onto somebody who's launching himself from the middle of one of the top ropes in the ring. I would just love to see that.
So
and hope everybody doesn't die in the process. Go on.
Tomorrow night is the last spot for Elimination Chamber in the tournament
for the men. Yep. It is. Let me see. Let's see. Javon Evans qualified, and then Asuka qualified as well. It doesn't say for next week yet. I'll look it up though. But yeah, this week's Raw also saw a 6-man tag match between the Vision and then the Usos and LA Knight.
Yeah.
I'm actually
win. Boo.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward, but I'm actually looking forward just to that. But I think this Elimination Chamber, something's going to happen eventful.
Yeah.
Because we definitely know about that box. Oh, never mind. The one that's spoilers.
Yeah. I was going to ask y'all what y'all think about that box.
Spoilers.
It says that this week it says that this week the final qualifier match for the men is going to be Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso versus the original El Grande American Gable. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I am really concerned about that oil pipeline that Chad Gable is constructing under his skin. He's already at post-career Macho Man Randy Savage levels for vein size.
I'm just glad to see him back in the ring. I love the gracias. I love that.
Yeah.
But he let's say I can't wait till they demask them both and we start getting back.
I think we're going to see all that at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
we're going to get the demasking of current El Grande Americano, and we're going to get the Masked Man unmasked.
Oh, I think we're going to get the Masked Man unmasked before WrestleMania.
I think that box is supposed to be open to 28. So,
the box, yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the box. I'm talking about the Masked Man that keeps attacking the Vision. Like the one that gave me
that's what
clip of video that I have rewatched over 100,000 times of Logan Paul getting his face stomped into the announcer's desk. Yeah, it just provided me with the moment that I will forever love. But at the end of the day,
that's fine. And I mean,
I genuinely believe that the Masked Man is going to lead to, even if it's not him right now, that it's going to lead to being Seth Rollins, because I think that's going to lead to Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. And so I think that his reveal is going to have to come a lot sooner.
Well, it depends on
his reveal should be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well,
Elimination Chamber.
We will see. I did love Adam Pearce's reaction when they're, what are we going to do with this box? And Pearce is all like, well, says send to WWE.
Yeah.
Ship to Nick Aldis on Friday nights. I don't care.
Yeah, and Nick called us on Friday night, said ship it back to whatchamacallit. So I guess that's what we're gonna do with it. That's the way they keep it relevant. They keep people talking about it. Is they shows up on both shows.
Actually, it could be interesting because could they ship it to NXT?
Maybe. So
Possibly.
here's the last part I'll mention, and this is going into next week's episode. They talked a lot this week about the fact. First and foremost, one last thing from last week's Raw. Penta beat El Grande Amira Kaiser to become the new number one contender for Dom Mysterio's Intercontinental title. That should make for a great match. Penta versus Dom Mysterio. But yeah, so that should be a fun one there. And then going into next week, they talked a lot about how next week is going to be a tribute with a final appearance from AJ Styles. Now, some people, of course, all the AEW neckbeards are trying to make this about he's going to show up in AEW. Like it's going to be his last. I think it's going to be something along the lines of he's going to show up in TNA. He's going to express an intent to either go back to TNA or New Japan, and the deal has already been worked out with WWE. Right. So I think that here's the thing about it. AJ passed out against Gunther. AJ did not leave his gloves in the ring.
Right.
So could we be setting up for a little bit down the road, like AJ signs a small extension and sticks around for a little bit, and we get Gunther and AJ down the road? That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Do I think it will happen? I don't know. But I think that we could get AJ coming back to get revenge on Gunther before his career is fully done.
Also,
go on, gentlemen.
We need to see that.
Yeah. Did you guys see the clip of AJ Styles doing the vlog in the stands, and then you had Nia Jax and another.
It was Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. That's who I was thinking. They didn't focus on, and they're saying, "Hey, Uncle Andy," and Uncle Andy. AJ says, "I love it when they call me Uncle Andy." Because it's like,
he said, I'm not old enough to be your father, so you call me uncle.
Cool uncle.
Yeah, I'm the cool uncle. But yeah, like that was a great. That's what all this stuff makes me think that he'll end up having one more match in WWE, or he's going to finish out his career in TNA.
Right.
You know, and that's where I think it's at. I think he's going to finish out his career in TNA, and that's what he's going to announce that he's not completely done. But we'll see. All right, so that pretty much covers everything. The Stephanie, what do you guys think of the Stephanie Vaquer promo? Basically, it was completely in Spanish. I didn't understand most of it, but I'll give Liv credit that she definitely made me feel like Stephanie said some shit to her that was upsetting. She acted the fuck out of that.
Well, I mean, listen, Dirty Dom, you know, I think Dirty Dom left some stuff out too, like you, I don't know if you should be hearing what I'm saying, but you know, like, let's just keep it a buck here. And
well, within like an hour of the segment being clipped and put onto WWE social media, you had 18 different people translating what she said to her, like, or giving you a gist, like a post on Facebook or Instagram, basically translating what was said to Liv Morgan in that. And basically it was just the same promo that we've heard a billion times from a bunch of different people about you were handed your title shots and everything else here, your opportunities. I had to earn them. You didn't earn them, blah, blah, blah. But I'm in love with Stephanie Vaquer. I can't. She is beautiful. The women's title or match for next week is Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. I genuinely think that Kairi is going to end up costing Io Sky, and it's going to be Raquel Rodriguez that goes into the cell. But it wouldn't surprise me.
I would love to see, because I would love to see Raquel Rodriguez hold a belt of some type.
Yeah,
she's earned it.
We'll see if we get there.
Yeah,
I agree that she deserves it.
Like, she does deserve
the
it.
hell out of her character.
I like the development that Kyrie is kind of wavering on who she wants to be, and Io is still trying to be the supportive friend, trying to get her away from Asuka. So we'll see how that. I think that's going to blow up at WrestleMania as well.
Could be. We'll see. All right, so now on to the Smack of the Down, which is Friday Night SmackDown. We had a men's Elimination Chamber qualifier, that main event that saw Trick Williams book his spot at next Saturday's event, and they're really giving this kid the star treatment. Booker T Light is basically what he is. And I don't say that jokingly. Like, watch his mannerisms. Like, he gives homage to Booker T. Like, the Booker T is one of his favorite wrestlers. I believe he trained with Booker T in Houston. But like, Trick Williams, 100% sure, is Booker T Light, like modern day Booker T.
And getting back to Raw, when Becky was coming out, instead of chanting around with the song, the Monday night crowd was shouting out, "Whip that trick, whip that trick."
It's the problem with him and Carmelo Hayes' faction that they had is, unfortunately for WWE, Trick became the bigger star. Like, because Carmelo is the one that they felt, because in ring, Carmelo is, like, I hate to say, he's a better wrestler than Trick, but they both have their pluses and minuses. But in general, Trick Williams wasn't supposed to be as big as he wasn't supposed to be bigger than Carmelo Hayes, and he is a main event player. This is why he's in the matches. He's in the matches like the Elimination Chamber, and Carmelo Hayes is holding down the U.S. title. That's not a shame. That's great, but he's just not on Trick's level when it comes to popularity.
Yeah, the crowd is definitely behind Trick Williams.
Yeah. But I do like the feuds that Carmelo Hayes has going right now, including with Solo Sikoa and Ilya Dragunov. They're definitely keeping the U.S. title picture very active and very, very interesting. We had Rhea Ripley defeat Julia in a singles match, after which Lash Legend and Nia Jax attack her, and Io Sky comes in for the save. I agree. I liked what they're doing with the women's tag team titles. I guess when you're working with a limited roster of women that you're trying to use on the main roster, like, you kind of have to, like, blend a bunch of storylines together, because you got the everybody going after the tag team titles, and you also got Rhea and Io trying to go after the WWE Championship and Jade Cargill, or the World Heavyweight Championship. So it's really interesting. Now, that's another thing that should be happening tomorrow night on Raw or on SmackDown, is that Liv Morgan should be announcing who she's picking for WrestleMania, so we know who the women's Elimination Chamber match is going to be for. She's either going to choose Jade or she's going to choose Stephanie Vaquera. I'm thinking, by the way that they're booking these promos, she's going to choose Vaquera. Yeah. But we're going to find out one way or another on Raw this week. So we will see. But for right now, we also had Tiffany Stratton defeat Alba Fire in her current feud with Chelsea Green, the hot mess. Cody Rhodes had an interesting promo that was interrupted by both Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, and some interesting interactions. What were your thoughts, gentlemen, if you got to see them, about the interactions between Jacob Fatu and Nick Aldis?
Just going ahead and let them fight.
Nah, I don't want to see Nick Aldis in the ring. Magnus is good as a
no. I didn't say
GM.
Just not necessarily in the ring. Just smack the shit out of him, because Jacob Fatu. Listen, Jacob, that's my dude right there. Like, he is really on some hands-on type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And he really clearly doesn't give 6 fucks about what anybody thinks. If he'll slap Cody Rhodes and just
I would love to see Adam Pierce, Braun Breaker. If
I
Pierce
think
still
Adam
has it.
Pierce is done with the wrestling.
Yeah,
I can agree
that's
with you. I can agree with you. That'd be a greght match as far as their skill levels. Adam Pierce was a hell of a technician. So watching him go at it with Braun Breaker would definitely be fun. Let's see. We also had but Jacob Fatu, I want to say he's growing. His promos are getting a lot more personal and a lot more how do you say, feeling like he knows what he's doing. The new name, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this here, Saint, for Nia Jax and Lash Legend is now the Irresistible Forces. What you think about that?
I don't like it.
doesn't quite roll off the tongue, you know?
Do they have to make it work? Do they have to make it fucking work? No,
Yeah.
they can't do that.
No.
No. I don't know. I never really liked the name the Irresistible Force for Nia Jax. So I don't know how I feel about this. Hey, what's up, Adrian Hart of Gaming? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, that's I'm sorry, man, but you know
just not feeling it, huh?
I'm just not feeling it. Yo, what's good? No, that's you can pass me on that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to go on ahead and close out our SmackDown talk. There was only one other thing of note from SmackDown, and that was the fact that Nick Aldis booked Candice LeRae and Jordan Grace into a match for next week. I do love the whole Johnny Gargano thing they have going on, where like he's just kind of planking on everything because he's so sad that Tommaso Ciampa left the company, and so like he's just not doing anything every week. I wonder if it really is a behind-the-scenes protest to letting Ciampa walk, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, y'all. So that will close it down for SmackDown. And we will jump into what is Tech Tinker's favorite part of the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
The section of the show where we talk everything gaming, from PC to Xbox and everything in between. So, gentlemen, Saint, why don't you kick us off with your top story, and then we'll jump over to Dave, and then we'll dig into the running sheet.
Okay. So, for all folks out there that currently have an Xbox or what have you, we found out, I guess, at least that I found out that Phil Spencer, who's been the guy, has decided to retire. Now, he's a gamer. I get it. We also find out that the president who decided to step down, can't remember what her name is, but she decided to bow out as well. And then we have someone new stepping into, and I believe she is the director when it comes to everything that's like, she's the AI, she's like the AI person. And we do know that the one guy that that's left on the board, I guess he's still one of the executives that's still going to be part of the team. But this lady, we know that she is not, yes, she is not what we call super gamer friendly, but she's supposed to be more or less on the business end. So
yeah, Apparently,
let's talk about that.
former Meta exec who previously led Microsoft's AI division.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my thing, because there were a couple of guys that talked about it on IGN that said, "Hey, Phil Spencer, he did his thing. Um, he thought more in terms of the gamers, but there were a couple of fuck ups when it comes to the acquisition of Bethesda, the acquisition of Blizzard. There were probably a couple of good things that go with that, but now here are the other things. The money, the price went up for Game Pass. That's Game Pass is now $30. Ain't nobody too happy with that right now.
Mm.
Not a lot of folks are really, really happy. So, gentlemen, listen, I have an Xbox. I do keep up with what's up. My other half, she's the Xbox aficionado. All right. But what are your thoughts? Because we've had problems or situations since the Xbox Series came out. So
I don't know. I've owned a Series S since shortly after it dropped. I've not had many issues with the main issue I have with the S is the same issue that I have with the PS5. If you are not going to give me at least a 5 terabyte internal hard drive, allow me to be able to play my video games from my external hard drive. Like, period. Like, write that into the code, because the fact that I have to sit here and swap games on and off of my external hard drive in order to play them is just plain insane to me. So
PlayStation doesn't have that problem.
PlayStation will let me play my PS4 games from the external hard drive. It will not allow me to play my PS5 games.
Because you need a SSD card. You need an SSD for your
right.
Yeah.
The solid state drive. I know, but it's just a matter of it, that shouldn't have to be. I shouldn't need to buy anything extra or buy anything specific. I should be able to buy any hard drive and play the games from my hard drive, just simply because it doesn't make sense. The game files are getting too large to be able to store on these tiny ass internal hard drives that are 500 gigs that they try to give us, or at maximum 1 terabyte. They either need to up the size of the internal hard drives to like 4 or 5 terabytes for the base system,
right?
Maybe buy more, or they need to just allow us to be able to play from the external hard drive. That's the only thing. Other than that, I've had no complaints about the series, the Series S that I've had.
I've had one of every generation of Xbox consoles. From the original 360, Xbox One, and Xbox X currently. Yeah. So I've seen the rocky start that they had, where they didn't have a lot of exclusive. They didn't have the same amount of exclusive AAA developers that Sony had built up over the years, but they did a lot with what they had, right, with Halo and on and on. But about 30 years for a console? That's a pretty good run.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, going all the way back to the Atari 2600, which was my initial console. Yeah. I mean, that lasted for a good decade before it finally lost out to Nintendo's thing. But sometimes we just gotta except that, you know what? They've gone as far as they can. The company is obviously not interested in doing this anymore. You know,
Well, they could take the same route that Sega did. Go with just software, just create some games for a little bit.
Which is what they're going to do, since they've moved into more of the software development with Bungie, with Bethesda, with Blizzard.
And I was going to say earlier, Saint mentioned, I believe it may have been off air, it may have been earlier in the show, but Saint mentioned about wanting to the Sega Dreamcast being one of the better systems that was put out in time. Maybe this step back for Microsoft to more of a software, because remember, before we got the Dreamcast, that's what Sega had done. Is PlayStation kind of came in and kind of took over the market. And so Sega took a step back and said, hold up, let us just focus on making games for a little bit, and then came back with the Dreamcast. Maybe this can be something similar for Microsoft, where they take a step back from creating consoles for a year or two, let people simmer with the Series S and X consoles, and then come back stronger in 10, 15 years with a console that can truly compete with PlayStations on every level. Because as much as I love Xbox, don't get me wrong, I'm an Xbox guy. I'm going to probably buy Xbox console with the next generation first, and then I'll get my PlayStation 6 or whatever they're calling it. But as an Xbox guy, I can honestly say that the original Xbox was on par with the PlayStation. By the time you got to PlayStation 2, PlayStation had sort of separated themselves a little bit. And the Xbox 360, or what was it? Was the 360?
360.
The original Xbox? Yeah. The 360 was not necessarily on par with what the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 could do. I also know that for a fact, they've also said that the Xbox 360 was rushed. They rushed it because they wanted to beat Sony to market with the PlayStation 3, I believe it was, and so they rushed it, and that caused a lot of the problems that they had with the 360. And then we went from the 360 to the Xbox One, again closing the gap a little bit on the PS4, but PS4 is still technology-wise a superior system. And then we get to here with the PS5 and the Xbox Series S, again closing the gap a little bit more, but the PS5 is technology-wise, like nuts and bolts-wise, the better system.
Right.
And so
it also makes a good deal of financial sense for Microsoft to take a step back from console development, simply because of the uncertainty, the current uncertainty of the tech market, the chip market, everything in there. So, like you said, take a step back, let your software companies keep going. Don't completely shutter your Xbox division, but just convert it over to legacy maintenance.
Yep.
And then when things are looking better, when you've got better, when you're able to get ahead of the tech curve to solve these issues, so that the console that you're putting out for the generation will be equal to what Sony's putting out with the PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's when you come back with the Xbox.
And this is where I say, don't get me wrong, graphics wise, there's not a huge difference between really what makes a huge difference in which console and which one looks better to an extent is what type of TV you have. Because both are capable of 4K, but I think there's a slight difference in that PlayStation does it just a little bit better.
Right.
But at the end of the day, graphically, on a normal TV, not on a 4K super high def TV, on a normal high def, $300 TV from Walmart, there's not much of a difference in graphics. They both look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? There's some problems with wait times with some of the stuff on the Xbox, that isn't there with the PlayStation again, because PlayStation, unfortunately for Xbox, has a lot of the superior internal pieces to the actual product, so it loads faster. PlayStation 5 has a tendency to load faster than the what you call it. But at the end of the day, ultimately, what I'm getting around to is that I think that Mark Spencer leaving will make a difference with Xbox. But if they're going, if him leaving and this other woman leaving leads to a shift over to a more software based Microsoft and Xbox, where they focus more on that, like you said, leaving back some people to work for the Xbox department under the legacy, but also you bring in a couple of people, because I don't believe that the idea for the Dreamcast started like a year before the idea for the Dreamcast started when Sega decided to pull back from making consoles and start focusing on making games. And so I believe that they can pull back now and start on something now that 10 years from now will be able to catch them up and keep them up with whatever Sony has produced at that point. Not to mention the fact it gives them an entire generation to sit back and watch and see what Sony puts out and what Sony does right and what Sony does wrong. All right, so that was that conversation. Dave, you got any last words on the Phil Spencer move?
No, but I do have something in regards, since we were talking about Sega, something that we missed at the top. We're sad to learn that Hideki Sato, who is the engineer known as the father of Sega hardware, passed away on February 13th. At age 77. This is the man who designed every single Sega console.
Yeah. I was telling Runeskar off air about the fact that I personally think that the combination of the Sega Master System, like the little thing that they had, and the Sega CD all in one system was like one of the best systems ever put out. Primarily because it had the ability to do either CD games or disc games and cartridge games all in the same system.
Right.
And so, like, I think that Sega missed out on something with that, and being able to put that out as a singular system that could do both. But that's because there are benefits to cartridge, there are benefits to CD, but at the end of the day, I bravo to him on that, because that design, I owned a Sega CD and I owned the whole thing with the base that you set the Master System in right next to it and all of that, and I had a 32X, so I had one of those monster systems, so with the little 32X sticking up at the top of it.
I missed out on Sega because I bought into TurboGrafx when that generation came out.
Ooh.
Yep. I still love my TurboGrafx. Still fun.
No,
but
Bonk is still a great game. The Bonk's Adventure was a great game.
Utopia, fantastic. Take on the Legend of Zelda style.
Yep.
For the 16-bit. Yeah.
I personally loved and owned a TurboGrafx 16 just simply because it was as great as it was. Like I had it for a little bit. I think I ended up selling it back to get a PlayStation game or something, but I did own it for a few months, and like I said, I loved playing it. They were one of the first video games, sports video games, that I ever saw that actually had the like TV like presentation. Their Monday Night Football game that they had was one of the first that I ever saw with that like TV like presentation in the halftime show. This was before 2K5 came out, which to me is still the best football game ever put together, with Chris Berman on the halftime show and the pre-show, and them doing replays from other games of shit that happened in other games during the halftime show. That was just bomb. But needless to say, that man, God rest his soul, he created a lot of what was my childhood. I said I loved Sega, and I was a Sega guy. I played Nintendo. Don't get me wrong, I had a Nintendo as well, but my parents had a Super Nintendo. Neither one of us ever owned an N64. I played N64, but I never owned one. It's one of the rare consoles in history I've never owned. Anyway, tangent. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. But yeah, so RIP him. He goes on our death roll. That sucks. The world lost out, but we'll see what the person who replaces him can do when that comes up.
We'll see if Sega gets back into hardware. So
there you go. All right, gentlemen. So anything else to throw at us here before we get to the running sheet?
Nah.
Nope. All right. So Ashes.
Oh, actually, one thing that's kind of video game related.
Okay.
I know we talked about last week about Discord
Yeah.
having to deal with European privacy laws and going for age verification. The update is not good because turns out that the system that they're using for age verification has 1 degree of separation from Palantir Technologies.
Okay.
And that Discord users in the UK are being advised that this system is not simply checking age verification,
Okay.
is doing approximately 300 other checks of your Discord account besides age verification. Checks on your social media history, checks on connection if you are connected with a criminal or terrorist group.
Wow. Well,
And
welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of Big Brother, right?
Yeah, fueled by Palantir.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not direct, like I said, it's not directly video games, but it's a tangent that everyone needs to be aware of just how scary something so innocuous can be.
Well, I was already not going to be on Discord, so I guess it's another reason not to be on Discord.
Yep.
Well, I'll say that's insane. All right. So, say any thoughts on this before we move on?
Not a word, man.
All right. So, Ashes of Creations. Stephen Sheriff files bombshell lawsuit against Intrepid's rogue board of directors. Let's see what this is about.
Okay. Yeah, now this is kind of complex. So hang on for a second. I'm bringing up the information.
Seems like Bree Royce for
sued a bunch of people on the board of Intrepid Studios. So Ashes of Creation has not even been released yet. It's an upcoming sandbox MMO RPG.
Okay.
So announced in 2016, gained recognition through Kickstarter, meeting its goal of 750,000 in just over 12 hours, and eventually raising over 3 million.
Damn.
So, Stephen Sheriff, who is basically one of the lead developers on Ashes of Creation, he and a lot of the dev staff got the axe from the board.
Okay.
And he has just filed a massive lawsuit claiming that the board had a lot of shenanigans going on, including attempting to sell Intrepid Studios, the studio, to Riot Games back in 2016.
That's insane. Like, yeah.
Before the game even started going into full development mode.
Wow.
When the video game gods are working against you that bad, just let
Yeah.
the game go, bro.
Yeah.
Just let the game go.
So we'll see how it's complex as all financial lawsuits are.
Of course.
And we'll see how it goes. But for a bit there, Ashes of Creation was a hot new game that everyone had their eye on, and then it just fell off the map. And the allegations are that there was mismanagement by the board of directors to not follow through on commitments for development. Basically, just kind of take the money and run. $3 million is nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's
But
not. Nowhere near.
taking that money and selling the game off to Riot Games and just pocketing the Kickstarter cash.
That is, well, we'll have to keep an eye on that lawsuit and see how that kind of plays out.
The fuckery is indeed
that sounds
real,
like it's interesting
people.
to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. All right, so let's get to this next story, and that is a really weird new Mario release just hit the Nintendo Switch, and it's for free. The name of the game is Hello Mario, and basically it allows players to be able to smush Mario's face and mess with it, and I guess it's taking advantage. It says it's a free app that is launched on the Nintendo eShop, gives players to relive the joys of the late 90s, giving them the ability to grab, pull, smash together parts of Mario's face all over again. Hello Mario is being released as a part of Nintendo's new My Mario brand, a line of Mario-themed games and toys aimed at young children. The gameplay appears relatively basic, with its main function tied to manipulating a cartoon version of Mario's head to make funny faces. But while it seems simple enough for a toddler to pick up and play, there's a lot of history behind the gameplay that is sure to spark nostalgia in older Nintendo fans as well.
It's what Nintendo does best. They create casual games that are fun to play on a $500 console.
Let's just go here with that.
And further, it just got announced that Nintendo is bringing back Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, which were the two original Pokemon games converted directly for Switch and Switch 2, but they're not going to be part of the Switch Online subscription, which includes basically Switch Online is diving into the old catalog, one price like PlayStation or Xbox Online, and you get to dive in for free into NES games, Super NES, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo
I'd be with that
for free, and even Game Boy games, original Game Boy games, but Fire Red, Leaf Green will not be a part of that. It's going to be $20 per game.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's a fair price.
Right. It's a fair price, but a lot of Pokemon folks are upset about this because they're already getting previous generations for the Switch via the Nintendo Switch Online accounts, where they get, Game Boy Advance versions of the games, et cetera,
Right.
as part of the price for having a Switch Online account.
Right.
So you're already paying the Switch Online account, and now you're
you
having
got
to
to pay an
pay
extra $20 for the.
per game.
Yeah, well.
That's
People
crazy.
got to make money. That's insane, but
Yeah,
that's
I
the
know.
name of the game in capitalism. You know, they got to
Yep.
make their money. All right. So next subject up is about a place in the UK that's basically, I guess, kind of their version of GameStop. It's just called Game, and it'll be shutting down all of its stores soon here. It says all the remaining locations for the place is being shut down. Once had 300 locations, hammering a pretty significant nail to the coffin of the physical game sales in UK. This is a part of that transition that we've been talking about for years, about eventually being forced into purchasing digital games as opposed to still being able to purchase hard copies, which I think is a vast mistake. By the video game industry, because people are always going to want their disc copies. So that's why we have split systems now, one that comes without a disc and one that comes with it, because there is still a market for people who want ones that come with a disc.
And also they want to be able to play the game after the online servers shut down.
Right. And that's already a huge problem as it stands right now. Even with having the disc, is still being able to play the game.
Yep.
After the servers have been shut down. I got a bunch of useless games that are useless simply because the servers are shut down. All right. Don't know what happened to Saint, but hopefully he'll join us back here in a moment. All right. So that sucks for the UK. Luckily, you guys can get digital games, so you can still get your games and everything. But it sucks that you won't be able to buy physical copies, at least not there anymore. Maybe at Target, if they have Target and Wally Mart out there.
Well, they got plenty
you can get them there.
They got plenty of those level
stores
in the UK. Yeah, can't think of what they're called, but
let's see. All right, PlayStation shuts down Demon Souls, Shadow of the Colossus remake studio, Blue Point Games.
Yep.
This comes from Bloomberg, which confirmed the news with PlayStation. Roughly 70 employees are going to be impacted by the closure when it officially occurs next month. Here's another studio that's shutting down, and that's cutting a bunch of people. So Blue Point, Dave, go ahead and hit us with your thoughts on yet another shutdown.
I think that it's not horrible. It's not a crisis. It's just sort of the natural tide rolling in, tide rolling out of
the
video game industry.
Yeah.
Where I think that things are changing in the way that video games are being backed and funded. But you get a studio like Blue Point that gets a really hot game or two, like Shadows of the Colossus and Demon Souls. And then they find out that after a while, someone else is now the hot new developer, and the focus is on those type games.
Yeah.
I mean, Shadow of the Colossus, Demon Souls itself, there's a whole genre of video games called Souls-like that mimic the play style of Demon Souls, etc.
Yeah.
And there are more than a few knockoffs of Shadow of the Colossus when that hit big. in the years afterwards. So, in one respect, it's great that you had a hot title, but
at the end of the day, it's not going to save your studio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Blue Point had been up to recently, besides Sony acquiring them. But it's how things happen in pretty much everything. There's expansion, then followed by contraction, followed by expansion in comics, in movies, video games. Pretty much
the way capitalism works.
Yeah, it's how it works.
Yeah. All right. So one last subject before we jump into where can we find you next, and that is this here. This was the one I thought Saint would love, and that is Castlevania Belmont's Curse, made by Konami and the Dead Cells Devs, launches this year. Is this one of the games that you're looking forward to here, Mr. Saint?
Yeah, I mean, any of the Castlevania games, I've always, especially when they were side scrollers, I'm always with that. Definitely with it, because I mean, it is the Castlevania 40th anniversary. I done played at least 7 or 8 of them. I'm happy with it. I'm as long as I'm still getting the same type of deal, just like with this one here. This one looks like this would be Castlevania. This would be Super Castlevania 4. Able to rope it up and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
And what about yourself, Dave? Are you a Castlevania fan? Would this be something you would be interested in playing?
Not really. I'm more a fan of the animated Castlevania series.
Which is a really
it's just I've just got so many classic things on my list to get through and to play and everything. Castlevania is just one more of those things that it's on the list.
I feel you. All right, gentlemen, so that's going to close it out for us for Tech Tinker's favorite part of the day, video game reviews. And we will close as all. Where can we find you next? The segment of the show where we all three tell you what's going on with us this upcoming week right here on the First GenXers Broadcast Network. And we'll start with Rune Scryer, because the Saint is so subtly making it known that Rune Scryer is the way to go. So Rune Scryer, let us know where can we find you next?
I will be back on night shift tonight, back with Horizon Forbidden West. So that's going to be for me for tonight. Midnight to Pacific. Midnight Pacific to whenever I start falling asleep, which could be any minute now, really.
For sure.
But I'll be on going through the into the Tanakh territory and just trying to keep going through the story mode.
All right, there you go. Saint, where can we find you next, sir? What you got coming up this week?
All right. Well, actually, you will find me tonight because, we're getting ready to get into this snow blizzard or whatever the hell is gearing to go on. But definitely I'm going to be doing something tonight and then probably at some point tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to go, but definitely going to be jumping off with something tonight. And that'll start around maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to definitely running some games, though. I'm definitely going to be running some games.
Cool.
Sure. And me, myself, and I, you'll probably find me on the Classroom. I may be running solo tonight. If not, I'll be running with O'Malley. We got to see how she feels. But there may or may not be a show tonight. It all depends on how I feel when she says how she feels. So whether or not we know her. So, but I will let you guys know one way or another whether or not there'll be a show tonight. Other than that, you can catch me on Tuesday with some college football 26. Got my offline dynasty now with Cal going, and potentially some stuff with the one and only Suave on college football. We've been having some battles, I'll say. And then you'll catch me for the normal rotation this week with NBA 2K, WWE 2K.
Okay. What?
Sorry, my mic got disconnected. That'll do it for this week.
That magic mic, you got thumbs up, dude. See, he was just silent again too. Look what happened.
Yep.
Well, folks, you already know.
It's what happens when you don't charge your mics overnight, and you think that they hold enough charge to get you through the show. But I used my mics last night a lot for KD5P. So anyway, yeah, so that'll close us out here. This has been the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on the First GenXers Broadcast Network, on Twitch, and on the Double KK Double Network on YouTube. Please join us and follow us on all your favorite social media: Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Threads, Instagram, etc. We will see y'all next week. Till then, peace out.
Peace out.
Later.
Bang, 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 bang.